These are the moments they live for, the ones they'll talk about for years. A shared passion for flying and creating unforgettable content. As the sun sets quickly, they rush to prepare the smoke grenades, taping them to the plane, and feeling the rush of excitement. Their goal is simple: to capture epicness in the last golden light of the day. With flight path planning complete, both the aircraft and the drone take off, joining in a mesmerizing dance in the sky. In these moments, time stands still. Both pilots are fully immersed, locked into the zone. They feel the freedom of flight and the connection with their flying machines. The magic of flight takes over.
It's been a while since I've done a Cinematic FPV Drone tutorial, but a few days ago we had this amazing shoot with my friend's plane, and I thought I'd share some tips about how you too can create similar looking videos. So in this tutorial you'll learn how to give your FPV drone videos that filmic vibe. First we'll dive into the flying techniques, and then I'll give you some editing tips that I use for my own videos. And hey, about that intro voiceover, that was done with Motion Array's new AI Voiceover tool. They're sponsoring this video, and later I'll show you how easy it is to generate professional sounding voiceovers that immediately level up the production quality of your videos. But first, let's start with some cinematic FPV flying techniques. Probably my favorite move for the intro shot is some sort of a dive variation because of a dynamic entry which immediately grabs attention and hooks viewer to start watching the video. It can be just a quick tilt down followed by a dive toward the subject, or an entry with a split S dive. Basically you start high, do a half roll, and then simultaneously use the pitch to point the drone toward the ground and dive to your subject. And for extra drama, what you can do is do the split S move against the buildings, a tree, or something that creates more depth to the scene. And this is what brings me to the second tip, which is fly close to terrain to create depth in your composition. The closer you are, the faster the terrain rushes by, giving a crazy sense of speed and depth. It makes the viewer feel like they're flying right there alongside you, fully immersed in the action, and they can't stop watching because so much is going on in the video. And to add even more depth in your composition, try to find leading lines. Go fly above them, follow them. In this case, I told the pilot to follow this small stream, and for extra drama we attached smoke flares, which also created leading lines that helped guide viewers' eyes towards the main subject, the aircraft. The video was filmed in 100 frames per second because smoke always looks good in slow motion. Make sure that if you are filming FPV drone shots in slow motion, you're doing it with a purpose. To slow down the action for the viewer so they can immerse themselves in the visuals even more, because something really epic is happening and you want to create a wow feeling. Next tip, number 4. When you're following a subject, keep them centered in the frame. It just looks the best in the FPV shots because, you know, things are usually happening very fast. The viewer's eye will usually look in the center of the frame, so try to fill it up with your subject, and the closer you fly to your subject, the more intense the shot will be. But be careful, too many close-up shots get repetitive fast, so instead of just blindly following your subject from behind, mix it up, do a top-down shot, fly below your subject if you can, move side to side, add some dynamic movements like quick approaches and then bouncing away while keeping the subject centered. This gives your viewers an immersive experience they'll love to watch. Alright, now that you've captured some banger footage, let's make it shine in post-production. But creating that filmic vibe isn't just about the looks and color grading. Sound can totally change the feel of a video, and I'm not just talking about sound effects.
Adding a voiceover especially will create a story and give your visuals meaning.
Let me show you how easy it is to create a voiceover with Motion Array's AI Voiceover tool. Head over to Motion Array's site, click here to check out their AI Voiceover tool. They've got tons of voices, so you can choose one that fits the mood of your video. And if you're anything like me, you get instantly bothered by monotone robotic speech. You know immediately that it was AI generated. However, with Motion Array, after you simply type your script into the input box, you can adjust the speed and emotional tone to match the vibe you are going after, and this changes everything. Let me show you a few quick examples.
Start your day right with our delicious, nutritious yogurt.
Breathe in. You're doing great.
Push your limits and embrace the challenge.
Motion Array is a one-stop shop because it offers everything planned, which includes access to this voiceover tool, plus a whole library of music, sound effects, templates, basically everything you need to polish off your project. Link is in the video description below, so make sure to go check it out. Next, let's talk about color grading, because it's another crucial element for getting that cinematic look. And I know, I get it, you're an FPV drone pilot, not a professional color grader. Maybe you're even confused with so much information available online, so many different methods to achieve different looks. So if you're new to color grading and want the simplest way to get cinematic colors fast, here's what I suggest. Invest in DaVinci, it's a one-time payment. Make sure to update it so you have the latest version. For those who want to know about my workflow, I usually color grade in DaVinci and then edit in Premiere Pro, depending on the project. For simple stuff, I do everything in Premiere Pro. Now to color grading. To preserve the best dynamic range, I assume you've hopefully shot your footage in a flat lock profile, so what you need to do on the first note is to get the footage into the Rec 709. For GoPro footage, the easiest way is to apply a relevant Rec 709 LUT. For my Canon cameras, I usually use the color transform effect for C-Log 3 or C-Log 2, and in this specific case I applied a LUT here in the raw details menu because it was filmed with a Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera. Next, on note 2, fix exposure with color wheels, make sure the image is not over or underexposed. Keep it balanced, and then on note 3, add a creative LUT. You have literally thousands available online, and one of my favorite ones to use are these kinetic LUTs from Gamut. I usually set the note opacity to around 50%. Play around with intensity to your liking. On note 4, drag Film Look Creator effect. It's perfect for adding that filmic touch, that final touch, and you have a bunch of different presets available. If I don't want to get too crazy and just want to enhance the kinetic LUT's look, what I do is I add a little of halation to create a glow around highlights, visible especially with backlight. I also add a bit of bloom because it creates that soft, dreamy look like the effect from the old cinema lenses. It's subtle, but brings that polished, cinematic feel that makes your footage look high-end quality, even if you filmed it with a budget camera and lens. Adding a bit of grain softens the digital footage even more and gives it a bit more of organic film-like feel. In DaVinci Resolve you can then of course control the size and intensity of the grain to make it look just right, and there are a bunch of other settings you can play around. You know, art is subjective, so go have fun and play around with creating the look that you like, enjoy, and it fits your style. Now, is this method the right one? Well, I don't know. I'm also not a professional color grader. I grade my footage with feeling, with experience, but it works for me. And if I need to get good looking colors fast, this is the process that I use. And if you're a professional color grader, I'd be more than happy to hear about your feedback and tips about how to improve it in the comments below. I mean, we are all here to learn from each other, right? And yeah. That's it for today's tutorial. Remember, if you're looking for an easy way to add a cinematic touch to your story, head over to motionarray.com and give the AI Voiceover tool a try, and leave a comment below if you have any questions, and yeah, see you in the next tutorial.